Open this up. Man, I'm hot, dog. I'm hot, V12. The screen for a second. But I have the play here. Y'all got to excuse me. It'll be a little small. It's an Instagram post. That's what I can do. Hopefully YouTube don't bang me, but if they do, you know, I get it. It is what it is. That's part of the process. But let's go ahead and get into this part right here, man. Let me pop this over here. All right, V12, say something right quick for me. Let's make sure everybody can hear you.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah, I got you. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let me play this out. It played. I want to kind of go through this, and I want to talk about this play. You know, Streeter got the little app up there and all that stuff. So as you see here, right, what you're seeing, there's 3 tight ends. There's a guy off the screen that Ivy's covering. You have the number 2 receiver. That's what we call him, number 2, not necessarily jersey number, and then the number 3 receiver. What Miami played in this defense is cover 2 to the 3 receiver side. Let me explain that very quickly. Cover 2 to this side, or a cloud defense actually to this side. Ivy is going to play in the flat right here. Okay. Couch, right? So Ivy has basically right around these numbers, if you guys can see the mouse moving. Couch should be right on, I'll call them the train tracks, but the hashes, right? And the beautiful thing about the train track, you can see them going all the way down the field. You never veer off of them. And that's going to be huge here in a second. Kitchen is going to be over the top, capping this thing. Tyreek Stevenson has the number 3 vertical. That's huge right there, because the number 3 vertical is what pulls him away from it. Let me explain. And then you got the nub tight end on the backside. And Avante, to clear him out. And Avante Williams is going to be the cover 2 safety towards the middle of the field. All right. So watch this as it plays. Let me see if I can put this in and play it. All right. So let's talk about this. I told you cover 2. Ivy, based on the call, you got to remember, this is the call. This is the call. And when I was on Footballville show, we only had the sideline cut, so I couldn't see. Remember, the camera panned over. Here's what's huge. We got how many we got? We got 178 in the building. I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Hey, y'all, listen. Before Coach, listen. Y'all get on this thing. Coach is coaching now. Coach me, Coach. Text somebody. Put them likes in there for Coach. We need 20K. Y'all been asking for this. Coach is coaching. Coach me, Coach. Let's go.
I just put it in the chat. Hashtag coach me, Coach. So anyway, we back to it. So now he's in the flat. Okay. Why they call this play? I can't answer why they call the play. I'm going to break it down. He's calling this play. He's in the flat. His zone is 10 to 12 yards deep based on the formation. To Corey Couch, same thing. He's 10 to 12 based on his hash, because in cover 2 is 5 under 2 deep. So you're going to have a guy on the numbers, a guy on the hash, a guy in the middle of the field. All right, just on that side, because it's a cloud coverage. I want you, that's important. Again, here's the number 1 receiver that came from Ivy. Here's the number 2 receiver that's clearing out. Let me see if I can get through this. All right, boom, perfect. He's the cap guy. That's Cam Kitchen. He's capped it off. Okay, meaning he's the over-the-top safety. Right here is Tyreek Stevenson. This is the number 3 going vertical. Let me explain very simply what they ran. 4 verticals. On that, you're going to have a guy on the numbers. You have a guy that works to the hash. That's what the number 3 receiver that Tyreek Stevenson covered. He worked his way to the opposite hash. You're going to have a guy on this hash, which is number 80. And then you're going to have number 7 that should be on the numbers out here. This is where the beauty in this route concept worked. They knew they would play some kind of 2, probably thinking they were going to be in 2 trail. Now, that's a little different. 2 trail means that they're playing man underneath. All those guys that's playing that zone would be in man underneath. That's why they drag him up underneath late. So 80 clears this out to keep Kitchens out the way, to basically a decoy. And 7 slides right up underneath. Here's where Corey Couch's fatal mistake was. He got off the hash. He got off the hash. If he stays on the train tracks, he bats this ball down. All right? Watch him play it. See that if he's on the hash, he can react faster to this ball with depth. And by that time, it's too late, and that's Avante Williams coming over, crashing dude. Let's play it again. Maybe you can see what I'm talking about. I'll let it play one time. See what Corey Couch gets off the hash? He gets off the hash. If he stays on the tracks, He's right in line with that. Okay, based on the call. Fatal error by 23. Fatal error by 23. You see that? Number 3 receiver takes Tyreek Stevens to the other hash. 80 is working this hash, and boom, 7 curls right behind this guy.
Coach, you know what the crazy thing? You know what the crazy thing about it is?
Yeah, talk to me.
When you take a look at that, I'm not sure if he was looking in the backfield as well, but he took no read steps. Because if he would have took the proper read steps, he would have been on the hash.
Right.
Look at it. He's not even moving. He's not even backpedaling to get to the hash. Look at him. He never.
Correct.
Right.
He wind out. He wind out with this guy.
Exactly. He never bent it back in. You see what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, he should have never widened out. And again, this is back to what I'm talking about with our players, understanding the integrity of the defense, knowing if you know. Now, he wouldn't have been wrong if they were in cover 3. But because they're in cover 2, you have a defender right here next to you. You have a defender right next to you that's covering that zone of the field. But because he widened out, and sometimes we call it a magnet. Sometimes defensive players magnetize themselves to offensive players. And that's what that's what they counted on. Once he got off this hash, he was done for. No way he could recover. They move they moved Tyreek Stevenson out. They got Cam capping it off. Cam is right where he's supposed to be. He's on top of the deepest man. And boom, they found the opening right up underneath in the middle of the defense, softly in the zone. Softly in the zone. Now, let me say this. I'm going to go to the flip part of this, of why how do I want to say this? Speculating why Manny Diaz called this play. The quarterback, Travis, has feet. He can run. Let's look at the box of this. You have Keontre Smith right here. Keontre Smith is spying the quarterback.
That's the spy.
That's the spy. But here's my personal opinion. It would be very hard for Keontre Smith to make this open field tackle. If he gets through this lane right here, it would be hard for Keontre Smith to make that open field tackle with the guy's foot talent as he has. If he has that kind of foot talent, that's too much pressure on this young man. Look how much green grass he has. You understand me? Second is our defensive end flies 9 yards up the field and you open up the escape route. I would rather hold him here, have him back here dancing around. But once you open this escape hatch, now he can escape out of the pocket. You understand? That's first thing. That's another fatal error right there in my eyes. Keep him back there dancing. As long as he's dancing, we can close the pocket in and get to him. All right. That's my next fatal error. The only way I'm talking about speculating is he wants to keep Corey Couch and for some reason Ivy's eyes on the quarterback. So if he does decide to take off, they can now convert and rally to the ball and help Keontre Smith make a tackle. Again, these are all speculations. Not trying to make excuses, just speculating on what it is. You understand? The problem is the fatal error right here was number 23. Got off the hash and broke deep and never glanced to see where his threats were. Okay. And that's the fatal error in my eyes right there. See how Corey Couch widened out? It was too late for him. He was done. Now, this is why you call the timeout. This is why you call the timeout to settle your guys down. That's what I'm talking about. I wanted to bring that up. Big shout out to Footballville in the building. He may jump on here with us in a second.